I'm not a fan of albums that just kind of every song sounds the same.
But he helped you find William.
Yes, he did.
Did you also approach other producers, or was he the only one who asked?
Yeah, there was. Did we? I think we did, but it was pretty. We sent William the tracks, or Mike sent William four songs, and he reacted so well to them, and he kind of didn't do the obvious thing of reacting to the most kind of dancey ones, because I didn't really know what to expect of William. I mean, I'd never met him before. I knew of his work, and obviously he's sort of a legendary producer. But when I first spoke to him, and he said that he liked "I'd Love to Kill You" the most, that really, I thought, okay, this is going to be the right person to work with.
Mm-hmm. What can he do that Mike Batt can't?
It's not a case of what one person can do and what another can't. Probably, everything and nothing. It's sort of, people are all individuals, and you can't, just give them certain tags,
but
that they can do.
What method does he have working with you?
What, sorry?
What method?
Oh, you mean what matters? Sorry, what do you mean?
No, how did you work? What was the process?
Oh, okay.
You gave him some songs, which were already quite finished, I believe?
No, well, the songs were, pretty much all of them were finished,
mm-hmm.
but they were all demos, so it was a case of going into the studio. We recorded at Air in Hampstead in London, and I took my band in, and we spent about 2 months in the studio. So the first part was just playing the songs with a band, getting to know the songs and then putting them down. I know William's worked with bands like sort of U2 and Blur before, so I know he was used to kind of like the organic approach, but I had the feeling that his work before working on this had been predominantly quite production based, so not necessarily always live musicians. Although I'm not 100% sure on that actually, but he seemed to really just love the band and how sort of organic we tried to do it, and just try and really explore. And I think the best thing about William was that he produced it without, I mean, there'd be points where he'd just let us be so free in the studio, and he would sort of hardly ever say anything or give direction, and he'd say just one small thing and it would make the biggest difference. And it was just the way he delivered it was just really good. So yeah, I mean, that was the first part of making the album. And then after, we'd had the band, then it was a case of going through the tracks and finding all the best bits and making sure they were kept. And William always talked about the ecology of the sound, of the song, and trying to sort of maintain it and sort of highlight the best bits, but also, everything had to have a purpose. And I don't know, I feel like I learned a lot from him,
mm-hmm.
not just as a performer, but as a, from a sort of production point of view. It was incredible to witness.
Mm-hmm. The house has a very wide variety of music. You already said something about it. Did that happen on purpose? Was that like when you started writing that you wanted to make a broader spectrum of music, or was it something that just happened?
I think when I was writing it, I wasn't really intending it to be very sort of broad, but I'm not a fan of albums that just kind of every song sounds the same, and I think I wanted, I mean, it's weird because there is a broad, musically it's pretty broad, but actually the subject is all the songs, every time I get asked about the songs and the meaning of the songs, I always end up describing the same thing, and I realise that the lyrical meaning of the album is, pretty much every song is about the same thing, being the sort of the pursuit of yourself, of trying to find yourself. So in that sense, musically it's broad, but lyrically it kind of, I kept trying to push the same sort of spot, kept trying to scratch the same spot. And I don't know, I feel like I got there in the end.